I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser. In a follow-through investigation inspired by a tip from a viewer, we're digging deeper into a story that matters to you and our community. We previously introduced you to Karen Federighi, whose former guardian, Kathy Johnson, was suspended in late February following a scathing audit. We're now uncovering how Karen managed to get her rights restored with help from another woman whose famous father was also held under court-ordered guardianship.
Ms. Johnson may not accept appointment as a guardian in any case in Collier County.
Professional guardian Kathy Johnson was suspended last week from 34 cases after an audit uncovered evidence she may have violated Florida's guardianship law. One of the cases auditors examined was Karen Federighi's.
What's this done to you in your life?
Totally destroyed my life.
Karen spent more than a year in guardianship.
I got a knock on the door one day in January of 2016 telling me I was a ward of the state with no civil rights.
Federighi was a registered nurse, employed at a hospital, and living in a condo community when her stepfather died and left her an inheritance. Her sisters in Illinois petitioned to put her into guardianship at age 56, alleging she wasn't capable of taking care of herself. Kathy Johnson was appointed to be her guardian, controlling her assets and making life decisions on her behalf. Karen secretly recorded this conversation with Kathy.
I was employed, 2 jobs.
That was before your sisters did all this.
Karen was determined to be incapacitated by a panel of 3 professionals who only spent a few minutes with her.
It was a retired hospice nurse meeting me at a McDonald's. And then the other 2 individuals that was to evaluate me was a retired 80-year-old OB-GYN and a activities director at a skilled nursing facility.
I'm totally capacitated. And how come you haven't advocated on my behalf?
I've tried my best to get you to go see that psychiatrist, and this could all be over with.
You know what? It's a racket, and you know it.
That's what the courts has told me I have to
Nobody in
do.
the United States gets out of guardianship.
At last week's hearing, Judge Elizabeth Cryer questioned how Johnson's wards were evaluated.
I want a real capacity evaluation. I'm not convinced that anybody's seen anybody in terms of these capacity evaluations.
It was an illegal mini mental exam done by a gynecologist, which should never have been accepted in court.
That's Carrie Kasem, who founded a nonprofit called the Kasem Cares Foundation.
Well, Karen called Kasem Cares, and she needed help.
Carrie founded the organization to honor her late father, legendary DJ and media personality Casey Kasem, who she fought to free from a California conservatorship initiated by her stepmother.
So I gave her an angel donor, somebody who helps people like this, and she got out of the state of Florida, got a flight, and she was here in California.
The Collier County Sheriff's Office sent out a flyer referring to Karen as a missing person. A Florida judge issued something called a writ of bodily attachment, essentially a warrant instructing police to pick Karen up and have her returned to her guardian.
And then I was hunted down like I was some horrible criminal.
Why would you give a bench warrant to somebody who's incapacitated?
When officers showed up at a motel where Karen was staying, she got a lucky break.
Cops had another call, but they told me not to leave the hotel room. But the minute the cops left, I did. And I literally lived on the lam for nearly a year using burner phones and cash.
Eventually, Karen got her guardianship transferred to California. The same judge who overturned Britney Spears' conservatorship heard the case and restored Karen's rights. Karen did an interview the next year with our sister station in Fort Myers, wearing a Kasem Cares hat.
I wouldn't want the people who did this to me, I wouldn't want this to happen to them. It's just beyond cruel.
When you don't have the money to fight this and you don't have a last name that anybody cares about, you're stuck. It's almost impossible to fix it.
Karen contacted the I-Team to tell us that her former guardian, Kathy Johnson, would be appearing in Collier County Court last week, where we attempted to interview her.
Kathy, did you take proper care of people under your care?
No comment.
The judge suspended Johnson from 34 cases amid allegations of missing records and missing money.
All my assets, everything I've worked for, my entire life gone.
But Karen counts herself lucky to have her freedom. I'm I-Team investigator Adam Walser with photojournalist Randy Wright, taking action for you.